Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. I want to thank all the people that watch my videos. I want to thank all the people that like, subscribe, share, all the really cool things that, you know, kind of make this whole YouTube experience fun. I also want to thank all the really cool people out there that do Genx content. It's cool, it's enjoyable, love it. And I like to thank all the other creators that do all the other wonderful, crazy, fun things that you can find on YouTube. Today's video, it's cold outside. In fact, I've got a sweatshirt on, got my Houston Aeros hockey jersey on, and what we're going to do is we're going to go outside and we're going to go visit the chickens for a little bit. Then we're going to go and look at Yaupon Holly leaves and discuss making tea out of them and having fun with that. So give me a good couple of minutes, or for you guys it'd be a screen wipe or something, or a fade. So we'll get outside and get cracking. Well, we're outside. We're gonna walk our way over to the chicken coop. It's not windy, so I don't have to mic up the GoPro, so this should be stereo. The internal mic on the GoPro isn't, let's just say, the best if there's any wind or anything like that. So hopefully I'm staying in frame. And here we are at the chicken coop. We've got, yeah, see if I can get this squeezed in here. So yeah, there we go. Actually, I'm gonna go inside the chicken coop. No, I'm not. Okay, we got 3 of the 4 chickens down. We got the Barred Rock, or not the Barred Rock, the Plymouth Rock, the one that's all shades, the different shades of gray. She's a Plymouth Rock. We call her Big Mama. The 2 speckledy ones are Dominique's. I don't know how well it's coming out on the video, but one of them is slightly darker than the other one, and the dark one I call Big Sister, and the one that's slightly lighter I call Little Sister. We'll go around and see if what's going on in here. We're gonna look. She's probably not in the egg box, but I can probably, there she is. See, that's a leghorn, and she's flighty as all get out. I call her Legs. Yeah, she's tried not to disturb her. She'll go back up in the nest probably about the next 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, yeah, I call her Legs, and collectively I refer to them as Big Mama and the houdinibeers. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to go and we're going to locate us a Yaupon Holly bush, tree, leaf. And this here is, I think this is, check the leaf. This might be Chinaberry, which is a look-alike to the Yaupon Holly. Go around here. I also may get a little bit of tour of the property. Fire pit, gonna burn probably Friday. Yeah. But let's see if we can find us a Yaupon Holly. I've got tons of them. Let's see what we got here. This looks like another China berry. The big difference is the Yaupon Holly leaves are completely safe to consume, to make teas and dehydrate and use them in cooking and stuff. The China berry, I don't think it's lethal, but I am pretty sure that it will get you in the hospital. Like I said, I don't think if it's treated, I think it's the toxins that are in the China berry are very, if they're treatable. If you get to a hospital, okay, here is a Yaupon Holly. And let me see if I can bring the camera in. If you notice, the leaves are slightly, they have these kind of waves or incrustations, whereas the China berry is smooth. They look a lot the same. The thing is an immature Yaupon Holly, the leaves don't, the incrustations on the leaves aren't as defined. They're not, and they could be, they'll appear smooth, but you actually have to rub your finger on them, on the younger Yaupon Holly leaves. These don't have berries on them yet. They are an evergreen, I believe. There's some weird where they have the characteristics of an evergreen, where they stay green all year round. They're good food. The berries and stuff help sustain birds and insects and stuff through the winter. Yeah, so I'm going to turn the camera off and gather me some Yaupon Holly leaves. Then we'll go back inside where it's not cold, and we'll put these freshly picked ones in the oven to roast, and then I've got some that I've just let naturally dry out. Those are my summer tea leaves. When I do winter, I roast them, so you get a darker drink, a more coffee-like drink. I keep eyeballing this here. These leaves here are really good. See, you can tell this one's starting to develop the incrustations. It's still a fairly young Yaupon tree. Yeah, some of these bigger leaves are a little bit more pronounced. So yeah, like I said, it's going to take, because I'm going to get a bunch of them. So, like I said, I'm going to turn the camera off. Then we'll resume filming when we get inside. Okay, we're back inside, and looks like we got us right at about 200 ml by volume of leaves, which for this demonstration is ample. And this 200 ml will last me pretty much all winter, because I use this to supplement other hot drinks and stuff like that, because I enjoy the taste. I also on occasion will harvest and make the tea by itself, And that's usually if it's really, really cold, dark, cloudy type thing. But that's just, for some reason, that's the way my brain likes to drink the tea straight. And there's nothing wrong with drinking it straight. It does have kind of a confusing taste if you've never had it before. Your brain, for most people, your brain isn't gonna be able to determine whether or not you're drinking coffee or if you're drinking tea. So, and it confuses taste buds a little bit. Now, how you doctor it or nurse it or dress it up, you know, cream, sugar, milk, whatever, honey, will also edge the taste one way or another. Something I forgot to point out when we were outside was the fact that you don't want to harvest all your leaves off one Yaupon Holly bush or tree or shrub or whatever you want to call them, because Yaupon Hollies are weird. Sometimes they'll get, you know, 2, 3, 4 foot high and just bush out. Sometimes they'll grow 6, 8 foot tall like a tree. They're weird that way. But let me go ahead and get the oven started preheating to 350 degrees so we can roast these puppies. Okay, what we have done is we have taken our Yaupon Holly leaves and we have spread them over a cookie sheet. This is lined with a silicone pad, and if you don't have baking pans or cookie pans that have the silicone pad, just put a piece of cooking parchment in there and put the leaves on there. I do not recommend putting the leaves directly on the metal, simply because depending on what metals are used, you can transfer a metal taste into the leaves, which will then later transfer into your drink you make. So that's what I recommend. Do what you're going to do. So, okay, what we're going to do is, see, the oven is 350. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take our leaves. Woo-wee. Put them in the oven. And get a cameo of Mr. Houdini Kitty. Then we're going to take and we're going to set our timer to 15 minutes. And we're going to let them roast for 15 minutes. And when the 15 minutes is up, we'll be back. Okay, we are back. We've got our leaves out of the oven. And they've been cooked to this wonderful golden brown color. This is about the color you want. And that's about, you want them to break like that easy. Got the hot water going in the kettle. So we'll get our coffee pot, or our teapot. What we're going to do is we're going to put some of these in here. And it does it, the more you add, the darker and stronger the tea is going to be. Because I believe it is technically tea because it is made from a leaf and not a berry or a bean. So that's about all the more you need for a fairly strong cup. First thing I'm going to do is I have some Cuban coffee left over from this morning. Like my Cuban coffee. I'm going to dump it through first because it's cold. Then I'm going to take my hot water I'm going to add our hot water. And unlike the pine needles, you can bring this water to a full boil and let it steep. So we're going to let this steep for a while. Basically, this is going to be kind of an infusion of coffee and Yaupon leaf tea. And once this cools down, because what I like to do with the Yaupon leaves is I like to let it cool all the way down to room temperature, then reheat it in the microwave. Because the longer it is submerged in the water, the hot water, the more extraction of the flavor and the other things that are unlocked. There is some vitamins in it. I'm not sure right offhand which ones they are, but I had adjust the camera there. But the main thing is it has a caffeine molecule in it. The caffeine molecule is slightly different than the caffeine molecule you find in tea and coffee and sodas. It's not as strong as the caffeine molecule, and it is non-addictive. So if you are worried about caffeine consumption and caffeine addiction, I know people that have heart problems, and one of the things that they avoid is caffeine. So this here, it's the caffeine that is found in this is, like I said, it's a caffeine molecule. It's not near as strong as the caffeine molecule in the Coke and the soda and stuff, like I said before. However, it lasts a little bit longer. It doesn't speed your heart up or anything like, say, a Red Bull or Dr. Pepper or something like that will. But it's something you need to keep in the back of your mind if you have health or dietary restrictions on caffeine. Something that I failed to mention in my pine needle video, and I'm going to mention this video. If you were foraging, if you're foraging berries, mushrooms, leaves for tea and stuff like that, if there is the slightest doubt in your mind of what you're harvesting, I don't care if the doubt is 0.000000001%, don't harvest it, don't consume it. Because it is better to miss out on something that's good and flavorful than to consume something that can potentially put you in the hospital, make you sick, put you in the earth, anything like that. An example I use, we have a plethora of edible mushrooms that grow wild here. I do not harvest wild mushrooms simply because for every one edible safe mushroom we have, it has a poisonous clone, a poisonous lookalike. And therefore, if I want turkey tails or something like that, I will grow them myself. Because if I buy a mycelium syringe that is confirmed by a commercial company to have, say, lion's mane or turkey tails or blue oyster mushrooms. I know what they are. I don't have to worry about a lookalike. And the joke among mushroom foragers and eaters and connoisseurs is every mushroom is edible once. Some mushrooms you only get to consume them once. So yeah, it's kind of a running, it's a joke, but it's also a warning. So yeah, if there's any doubt in your mind what you are harvesting, do not harvest it. Another reason why I don't harvest mushrooms, wild mushrooms, is because of the mycelium. Mycelium is actually the fungus that grows. The mushrooms are the fruiting bodies. Mycelium, having healthy mycelium in your soil doesn't guarantee, it helps making sure that your soil stays fertile, it keeps the ability to produce grass, plants, gardens, and stuff like that. So it's that whole circle of life thing. So we'll go ahead and I'll cut the camera off and we'll let us finish steeping. We'll return to the man cave and we'll consume it. See you then. Okay, we are now in the man cave, the room. I cleaned my beaker out. I'm going to dump this into the beaker just so you can see it. Here's our pot. I've let it cool down to warm. I didn't let it cool down all the way to room temperature, but it is, like I said, you can see how much darker it is than when it was first brewed. We steeped about an hour, hour and a half, because in my water kettle I brought the water up to a good rolling boil. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump it in here. We'll get us about 350 milliliters. Now you can get a better sense that, you know, it's tea colored. It's not really coffee colored or anything like that, even though I did add the Cuban coffee to it. May said Colombian coffee earlier, but it's Cuban coffee. I like it. I like making kind of like an espresso shot out of it. And what I put in here is what I had left over. So we'll go ahead and we'll drink it. Good stuff. Very good stuff. I will probably let this finish cooling down. It is still a little bit on the hot side. Tastes good, tastes wonderful. Got a little bit of the hint of the coffee in there from the coffee I added. A little, probably about 10 mil, 12 mil of coffee. Not quite 15 mil. I've measured it before when I've done this before. I've measured out the amount of coffee that I'm added when I add that leftover coffee. And it's more than 10 mil and a little bit less than 15 mil. So, you know, somewhere between 10 and probably 12 mil, 14 mil maybe. But, I love my beakers because they're borosilicate glass. And you can put hot and cold, and you don't got to worry about shattering glass as much as you do regular glass. So, hope you all enjoyed this video. And until next time, peace.